I'm going to show you today how to create a meeting notice for an upcoming meeting that you have. When you are on your main My Cases page, select the student that you are going to create the meeting notice for. Then click the blue Create New Special Ed Meeting Notice. The initial notice date is automatically going to default to today's date. However, if you know you're not sending it home in their backpack for a few days, you can click a date in the future and then it will change it for you. Leave the status in draft because you are still working on it, and then click Submit. The meeting date, say this meeting was going to be on the 18th, so I can click the calendar and select the day that way, or you can also type directly within the field. And I know that this meeting is going to be at 3:30 in the afternoon. If you know a room number, you can type in a room number. And the location is automatically going to default to the child's school. So most of the time that is okay, but I also want you to pay attention. Say if you're doing a transition meeting for a student who is in a lower grade level and is going to be transitioning to a new school, and you chose to have the meeting at the new school, you are then going to need to make sure to come in and change this location so the family doesn't go to the child's current school or whatever was on there. So watch the location. Most of the time that's okay, but sometimes it will change for you. Case manager information is automatically filled in for you. Click Submit. And it'll tell you in green writing at the top that my meeting notice information was successfully entered. Now we are working from this small portion right here under Meeting Notice. I'm going to click Meeting Purposes because I'm done creating the meeting notice. Now Meeting Purposes. You can select one of the options here. Most of the things you will ever need will be here. For this one, we're going to say we're going to review the child's IEP, consider ESY, and revise as needed. You can also click Other and type something in this field if necessary. Click Submit. And again, it tells me in green writing that that information was successfully entered. I've now completed the beginning of the meeting notice, the meeting purposes. Now I'm going to go to meeting attendees. You will notice that the guardians are automatically there. This information is pulled in from Synergy. Yours would have more information as this is a mock student or a fake student that does not actually have data in Synergy. So update current guardians would, if I had deleted someone, if I hit that, it would pull information back in. And make sure that the guardian information that is here is the most up-to-date. Include service providers. If I click on that, it will pull in anybody that is listed currently as a service provider on the child's active documents or active IEPs. You can also include the student if they should be at the meeting or being invited to the meeting. Include case manager, so I want myself to show up there. You do not need to click on all of these. So if you included service provider and your name was pulled in, you don't need to click on include case manager so that you're pulled in twice. Include students, teachers. This information again is pulled in from the child's calendar. You can choose to use that. Again, this is a fake student, so he doesn't actually have a calendar. If you feel that too much information comes in, you can choose to add staff through the Invite Other Staff menu, or you can invite all of them and then delete those that you don't need. Invite Other Staff is a way that you can invite other staff that are within our school system, so people that would be within Synergy. So say you wanted to invite the school psychologist, but they're not currently a service provider, they're not the case manager, they're not listed anywhere in the student's things, but you want them invited to the meeting. You can then type in their name, hit search, and that person will pop up. You click the left checkbox and click Submit, and it'll pull that person in. Add Other Attendee is a person that is not within our school system or not within our Synergy database. So when I click Add Other Attendee, I'm manually entering a name and a relationship in. So this could be Mr. John Doe, and this is therapist will be very generic today. It could be psychologist the student is seeing, outside therapist, anything like that. You can enter any more information, but it is not required. You can hit submit, and it tells me that John Doe was successfully entered. I'm going to go back to my meeting attendees list to make sure that everyone is there. Again, if you notice duplications, you can click on delete, or if you find out that someone can't be there and you've already started a draft of the document and you want to delete someone, you can do that, hit confirm delete, and now that is gone. The other thing that you can do is you can edit. So say I know that this administrator is going to be my district rep, and I want that. You need to make sure that that is identified on your meeting notice. Come in, click district rep, hit submit, and now it is clear who at my meeting is acting as a district rep. And I also want to make clear who at my meeting is acting as my general education teacher. Obviously, you would not have the same name on there twice, but for purposes like this today, that's just how it's going to go. So now I have my meeting attendees, I have my gen ed teacher, I have my district rep clearly labeled for everybody. I've gone through all three areas over here on the left menu. I'm going to check for completeness. All areas are completed. I got all checks. If ever an area weren't completed, you could click on the edit, and it would take you directly to the area that needs to be completed. So I'm going to check completeness one more time because ours was good. And I'm going to make this meeting notice final. And that is how you create a meeting notice.